only hope they all got there. Terrible disruption we hear on the roads around North London. According to United, of course, Wembley should be saved for the final. This is City's first trip to the new stadium. City were last at Wembley, of course, for the League One playoff final of 1999. They have moved on a long way as a club, but still to break the trophy hoodoo, up against the 11 times FA Cup winners. And that is a record. Pat, we have the teams to hand. We knew Tevez was out. It is to be Balotelli for Manchester City. Did Mancini have other options realistically, given Dzeko, like Fernando Torres, can't score a goal?
Well, if you're saying that someone who cost £30 million odd pounds or is not an option, it's not. Of course, he was an option. It's a massive call by Mancini. Balotelli has got all the ability in the world, but his behaviour since he's come in has been like a noose around Mancini's neck in terms of people criticising him. If you look at that team there, Zabaleta, Kolarov, no pace in the fullback positions. And Fergie knows that with Nani and Valencia, they have got pace and energy. They've got to handle those two for Man City to have a chance. But let's remember this coach in Mancini under huge pressure, as Ferguson was in the early days. He won Coppa Italias in Italy. He was coached with Fiorentina and Lazio Inter, won them multiply as players as well.
No Ryan Giggs for Manchester United. He doesn't even feature on the bench this evening.
Yeah, that's
and
rest.
Berbatov in up front in Rooney's absence through suspension.
I think if you look at how he handles Giggs now these days, that he doesn't tend to play the big games in midweek and in the following weekend fixture. Big call to put Ferdinand next to Vidic. That shows how seriously Ferguson's taken the competition, because, I feel a lot of people felt that Smalling would come in today, especially with Ferdinand limping throughout so much of that brilliant win against Chelsea during the week. So Fergie wants that treble again. And, Berbatov up front, he scored goals this season. He'll be well fed by Valencia and Nani.
And Hernandez on the bench. Kick-off next. Teams are just about to make their way out. We grabbed a quick word with both managers.
So long.
This program is brought to you by Sporting Bet. There's no better bet than a sporting bet.
This way, but this is only the semi-final. After will be the final.
It's only a semi-final, but it's very important for Manchester people, as you know.
It's very important, very important. I agree.
The first Manchester derby at Wembley. What are you making of the occasion?
Well, I hope it's a great occasion. I hope there's no trouble. That's an important thing. I suppose I've travelled a long way, and I hope that they all behave themselves and we have a great game.
And Pat, your last word.
Massive, massive call for Mancini to go with Balotelli. He's got a lot of big hitters on the bench. James Milner, Wright Phillips, Dzeko, people that can rescue the game if he gets into trouble. But goodness gracious me, having left all those guys out and putting Balotelli, who's let him down so many times, he doesn't get the result today, it's bad news. As is Chelsea's win today, which puts them 5 points clear of Man City. They would have hoped that Chelsea would have crumbled. Now it's only Tottenham that they can finish ahead of to get into that top four, which is vital.
And for commentary, Curtis Fleming alongside Des Curran.
The City of Manchester may have been denied the dream final, but this semi-final set to be as atmospheric and fiercely fought as any decider. The entire city of Manchester appears to have decamped to the capital, a magnificent sea of red and blue. Manchester United chasing what would be a stunning treble this season. City desperate, of course, to not alone end that dream, but also in the process book a return here next month and the chance to end a trophy drought stretching back to the '76 League Cup win. Roberto Mancini without his captain Carlos Tevez after the hamstring injury, picked up at Anfield on Monday night, a big blow for them. 4 changes from that defeat as the manager attempts to get his team selection right this time. Boyata, Milner and Dzeko, the other 3 not involved in today, come Pablo Zabaleta, Nigel de Jong, David Silva and most interestingly Mario Balotelli. Micah Richards, who scored the winner in the last round against Reading, he has failed to overcome his hamstring injury in time and he hasn't made the matchday squad today. But looking at that top third, Johnson, Silva, Balotelli, no doubting the talent. Plenty of goals and Yaya Toure to back them up as well. As for Manchester United, Alex Ferguson, who's won 8 of the 9 FA Cup semi-finals he has presided over. He selects this 11, one showing 3 changes from the midweek Champions League win against Chelsea. Wayne Rooney serving the second of his 2-game domestic ban. Hernandez drops to the bench, and no Ryan Giggs in the matchday squad. Coming in today, Antonio Valencia, Paul Scholes, who didn't feature in either leg against Chelsea, and the Premier League's leading goal scorer, Dimitar Berbatov. Changes for both managers then. Interesting to hear Roberto Mancini before the game stressing that it is only a semi-final, though, Curtis, it doesn't feel like it.
Oh no, it feels like a final, and I think we have to think it is a semi-final. They're trying to get to the final of the FA Cup, but you wouldn't know. But the whole atmosphere and the build-up to the game, especially the way Man United are playing and the week that Man City have had.
Well, they've travelled in their thousands for this one. What a massive fixture for Roberto Mancini. Knocked out of the Europa League against Dinamo Kiev, a competition they might have fancied going on winning. Alex Ferguson sitting up on high again today, of course. Seen it all before. The only semi-final he has lost on penalties here 2 seasons ago against Everton. Mike Dean, the man in charge today, refereed the 2008 final, Portsmouth beating Cardiff, and of course this season's League Cup final here, Birmingham beating Arsenal. Vincent Kompany wearing the armband today in the absence of Tevez. And of course at the other side, the other centre-half, Nemanja Vidic, who has been absolutely outstanding for Manchester United again this season, as indeed has Kompany for Manchester City. Neither side has had the smoothest of passages to this point. Manchester United with 1-goal winning margins against Liverpool, Southampton, and of course Crawley before beating Arsenal 2-0 in the last round. Manchester City needing replays to see off lower division opponents Leicester and Notts County, and then ease past Aston Villa, squeeze past Reading to make it to the semi-final for the first time since '81, the year when they lost, of course, the replayed final against Tottenham.
Well, if you look at the 2 captains, and we look at Wayne Rooney, you know, everyone's saying we're going to miss him, but we forget about Dimitar Berbatov, who's starting tonight, who's the top goal scorer in the Premier League with 21 goals, and it's an able replacement. There's no doubt Rooney's unplayable at the moment, but Dimitar Berbatov could be his day.
Well, what about Manchester City? You look at their recent away record. They haven't scored in their last 4 away games since David Silva's deflected goal at Old Trafford. Blanks at Aris, Kiev, Chelsea, Liverpool. They haven't won away from Eastlands since December 26th, the 3-1 victory at Newcastle. No away win in 2011. What a time this would be to put that right. Manchester United coming into this on a season-best run, 7 straight wins. That will have them favourites. Can Manchester City upset the odds? Can they make it to the cup final? Early touch here for Vidic. Out to the left-hand side, and Berbatov, tracked by Kompany, who gets the better of the first battle.
I think he's going to be hugely important for them today, Kompany. Being one of the players of the season for me. I think he's a real leader, and a snip at 6 million I think they paid from to Hamburg to play in midfield, and he's been a godsend in that centre-back position.
Owen Coyle and Tony Pulis will be watching this with interest. What a chance for both of those managers tomorrow. Bolton against Stoke in the second semi-final. Taken in by Yaya Toure. First chance for Kolarov to get forward here and take on O'Shea. Absolute din at Wembley as the crowd really making itself heard. Yaya Toure, another with a big role to play as he attempts to get forward and support Balotelli.
Well, it just give you a little glimpse of what he's about there. The 2 midfielders, and Carrick and Scholes, are going to pick up their 2 midfielders, and if he can pick up pockets behind them, there's no doubt he'll cause trouble to the United defence today.
And player you were talking to me about before kick-off, Ji-sung Park. It's just his 4th game in 2011 after the Asia Cup and the hamstring injury after it. But his positioning today very interesting as well. There he is trying to chase down Gareth Barry. Adam Johnson. Certainly a potential match winner for Manchester City. Nigel de Jong restored to the starting 11 today. I wonder, has Roberto Mancini got his 11 right? He was very forthright after that bad defeat at Anfield, particularly an abject first 45 minutes. Not the ideal build-up. Zabaleta entrusted with the right-back position again today. Van der Sar. who's been showing in the last few weeks exactly how much he'll be missed when he retires. O'Shea getting tight on Silva. Park and Valencia. Looks for one here for Berbatov, read by Company. Hacked away by Lescott. Scholes. Manager's handled the Scholes gig situation well, Curtis, hasn't he? He's sprung gigs for the Champions League games, and what an impact he made. Assists in both legs. Scholes back in for his chance today.
Well, you talk about gigs, you talk about fine wine, and you say getting better with age. You know, 37, he's been unbelievable, probably the best player of the two games against Chelsea. But again, you give him a day off today. Is the team going to be weakened? I don't think so. False goals coming in.
Lescott strong there. Now Zabaleta and Johnson. With Berbatov this season, you look at his 22 goals, it's been streaky, hasn't it? When he's on a run, he can't stop scoring, but then he can have a drought that can last 6-7 games. What form, what mood will we find Berbatov in today? De Jong on the stretch, good challenge from Nani. And in turn from Lescott. Manchester United's last FA Cup victory, 2004 against Millwall. They've since lost 2 finals against Arsenal and Chelsea. They've gone out in the 5th round against Liverpool, quarter-final against Portsmouth, that semi-final on penalties against Everton. And of course Leeds last season as Berbatov sets off. Manchester City quick to get 3 men around him, and Scholes in late on De Jong there. I think Mike Dean had his back turned. I'm not quite sure he saw that.
It was interesting reading a piece by De Jong over the last couple of days, saying that he came to England because he doesn't mind getting a kick. He'll get up, he will give it out, but he's not afraid to take it, and I think that showed. Normally you would see, you know, midfielder rolling around the ground trying to get the other player booked.
Came in for a lot of criticism, Nigel De Jong, over the last couple of years. Challenges on Stuart Holden, Xabi Alonso, Adam Ben Arfa. But you're right, Curtis, when he does get whacked himself, he's quick to get up and get on with it. Scholes again, dropping deep. Vidic onto Carrick. Nani. His last goal came in the Derby victory. Zabaleta, route back to his goalkeeper, closed off by Berbatov. And struggling to get out here, Manchester City. And then a clever little header, and now De Jong to Lescott, and time and space. Silva has drifted in from that left-hand side. He's looking for Yaya Toure getting forward, didn't quite come off. Now Scholes and Park. Carrick and Park again, lovely football. Good challenge from Gareth Barry. And no time to dwell on it in the early moments here as Kolarov goes in hard on Valencia. Advantage allowed by Mike Dean. O'Shea to come forward for the first time. Options inside, Nani at the back post. Scholes. He looks to whip it out, not the angle he was looking for that.
This Valencia will make those runs all day. Again, he does really well here. He looks so sharp. Gets in front of Kolarov there, and again, I love that he's not rolling around. He gets up. It's a little kick in the ankle, but again, no histrionics, as they say. He's up, doesn't get the player booked.
So many great one-on-one individual battles out there, isn't there? Adam Johnson against Evra. Right wing against left back, and on the other side, as Curtis has been saying, Kolarov against Valencia. Looking at the 2 league games between the two this season, very contrasting. There was the 0-0 bore at Eastlands. Far more exciting fare at Old Trafford. Won, of course, by, well, probably the goal of the season, unless someone else can surpass what Wayne Rooney did.
And it turned the season for him. He was getting a lot of abuse from the papers, from the public. He scores that goal and then he's a new man. All is forgiven.
All is forgiven, and Berbatov was forgotten, left kicking his heels on the bench. Too much on that from the Bulgarian for Valencia. There won't be many top goal scorers in a domestic league who've been featuring mostly as a substitute. Sometimes not featuring at all, but that's been Berbatov's lot of late. Nani eased off by Zabaleta. No surprise to see the manager trust him today. Had been at home on compassionate leave. Well, it's a lovely ball for Balotelli, and Van der Sar, great starting position.
He looked sharp there, Balotelli, you know, great little layoff. You see here where he's headed, and then he's away. Yeah, Toure nearly kicks him out, but again, is there a better keeper around in the world at the moment? I don't know. And why he's returning at 40, I don't know either.
Well, that is the tale of the two centre forwards, as we saw Balotelli there. We mentioned Berbatov. A lot depends on the mood he's in, and that's certainly the case with Balotelli. Look at his record this season between injuries and a couple of sendings off, so a couple of suspensions. Balotelli, this is just his 21st appearance for Manchester City. He's been a 1-2 man, 10 goals. No denying his quality. Lots of doubts over his temperament, though. And ball by Zabaleta. And you can see Yaya Toure trying to get close to Scholes when he's on it. Both management teams would have studied the opposition if they needed to. Sure, they know them like the back of their hands and set out their various formations. What has to happen in certain situations.
You can see there's a little bit of rotation as well. David Silva's coming in off the left-hand side. You can just see him just hanging around the midfield area there. And again, I think he's probably the only midfielder that they have that can pick a real forward pass. He needs to get into positions where he can pick the runs of Balotelli. If it's not Yaya Toure, I don't see Barry or De Jong doing that.
Here's Nani running into a maze of blue shirts. He's got it back from Park. But he's going to ground, and Mike Dean saw enough in that to give it Manchester City's way. And Nani clutching his face. It was a tangle, I think, with De Jong. And a pretty frantic 10 minutes and a chance for a little bit of a breather now.
Again, I don't think there's much malice in that from De Jong. You probably get blamed because it is De Jong that he meant it, but I think his foot came down, and again, I thought Nani was making a lot of that, but then again, a few years ago, I think lads used to bounce up. You know, he's up now and he's fit.
I think if there is a challenge with malice from De Jong, you certainly feel it. Company forward, flick on from Silva. Here's Johnson. Chance to take on Vidic here. He's going to fire one goalwards. Van der Sar always had that one covered. But when we've seen him score this season, it has been cutting in off the right-hand side.
But just to be optimistic, I don't think he's got on the ball in the first 10 or 11 minutes, and I think he's just probably panicked there saying, I have to do something. I haven't really had a touch, and he's come in there, his body shape wasn't right, and he's just pulled the trigger.
It's been an interesting season for Adam Johnson. He's been featuring as much off the bench as starting, as you see Alex Ferguson sending word down. He spotted something. He needs a little tinkering, perhaps. And Vidic has left this bounce. Offside flag against Yaya Toure. Scholes. It's a lovely ball over the head of Zabaleta. Nani's got pace and he's getting there.
Isn't that brilliant from Scholes? And we were talking about Man City. I don't think have that. I think in the midfield area, Scholes can do that all day and cause people problems in behind.
And Nani waiting for the big men to come forward. None bigger than Vidic. Park, interestingly positioned right in front of Hart, who'll get a good fist on that. Valencia settles for the throw-in. Scholes immediately looking for it. Berbatov. Lescott right at his back. Casually done in that Berbatov way. Scholes. Vidic. And now Evra. Nani. Carrick. Trying to play it to the feet of Berbatov. No goals so far, no Tevez, no Rooney. Where's the game breaker? It's down the line for Park, well dealt with by Company. Manchester City actually have played a game more than Manchester United this season. It's their 52nd, United's 51st. City have lost 11 times, United just 4. Both sides making sure in the early stages here that they're difficult to break down. Scholes again in a deep position. Now Carrick. O'Shea. Valencia. He's got 2 to beat here. Good defensive shift from Silva, but his was the final touch. United throw in. Park clips it into the area, headed away by Lescott. Gareth Barry under pressure, give it back to Lescott, who wasn't expecting that. Scholes, it numbers forward, Berbatov! Big save from Hart. What a lovely Manchester United move. Wayne Rooney was off his feet, so was everyone else in that Manchester United bench, but Joe Hart, coming up with the game's big moment so far, may have to act again. Oh, he scooped it over, put on a plate by Nani, and Berbatov has somehow missed it.
I don't know whether it's a kick or embarrassment. He stayed down there with 2 fantastic chances in a matter of seconds. It's again a great bit of play from Nani. Slides the ball across, fantastic. All he's got to do is get a good contact on it, and earlier on, great bit of play. Scholes, little touch off Park, and Berbatov, you'd expect him to score. Hart comes out, huge body, gets his body in the way.
Well, the first Manchester United move, you'd say, deserved a goal. The way they sliced through that Manchester City defence, it was an excellent save from Hart. And then here, well, it was a ball from Nani that took Hart out. Kolarov slid in, Berbatov had to score.
But he's there in front of Kolarov, you know, Kolarov doesn't put him on, he's just got to concentrate on the contact on the ball. 3 yards out, he's got to score.
It's a big Wembley miss. Injury to insult maybe here as he hobbles off. Do have attacking replacements available. Michael Owen's on the bench, but you would imagine it would be Javier Hernandez. What a great option to bring on if they need him.
I think Lescott and company are hoping that Berbatov does come back on.
There's Gareth Barry, and I think we've just seen what you've been talking about. Gareth Barry and Nigel de Jong, the 2 deep midfielders for Manchester City. It's Scholes operating in that role for Manchester United. Passes from de Jong and Barry, short, 5 yards, 10 yards. He's still feeling that right ankle, Berbatov. Start of the season scoring here in the Community Shield against Chelsea. Adding 21 more to that. Should have been 22.
But that just sums it up there. Every time United get it, they play out from the back. Van der Sar hasn't kicked a goal kick yet, or a set piece. Joe Hart, no options.
Valencia not giving this one up. Good work from Vincent Kompany. If this is the chance, 1 and 2 again.
I think again, Barry's a bad ball into Lescott, but he should be clearing it. It's a great chance, but very quick off his line, Joe Hart. And this one's all about Nani. What a pick out. And I think he's got to score. Every time you see it, it looks a worse miss.
Look at Obertan's reaction there. He looked up to Rooney. think everyone thinking the same thing there. Will Berbatov get the chance to atone? Ferdinand clipped by Balotelli. Just wonder how fit Ferdinand is. Took the gamble of starting him today. Left him out of the Fulham game, not surprising, in between those Chelsea legs. Scholes again. 2 over. Nani just stumbled as he went to head that, and it's cleared by Lesko. Scholes starting to pull the strings now. Here he is again, inside to Carrick. Evra. Zabaleta not getting as tight to Nani this time after what happened when he was spun beautifully for Nani's cross a moment ago. Carrick, Evra's managed to keep it in play, and Zabaleta forced to concede the throw-in.
But just the movement and the forward passing, and again we're talking about Scholes with Michael Carrick. They're trying to shut Scholes down. When they do, Carrick gets it, and again he's a progressive passer. It's the strength of his game.
Player who seems to divide opinion amongst Manchester United supporters, Michael Carrick, but his influence in those 2 Chelsea games couldn't be underestimated. Here's Nani in tandem with Evra. Vidic. Scholes skips away from Toure. Park. Manchester United sensing a lead goal now, perhaps. Good foot in, but it's broken here to Carrick, who hasn't scored this season. Fancy that one. O'Shea scuffed it, and Manchester City have enough men back there. Barry with the first touch. Yaya Toure now. Offers the hand of apology. It was a poor delivery forward as he was seeking out Adam Johnson.
But there's tackling on the edge of the box there was Balotelli. But Yaya Toure on the 11 players in the box.
Here goes Nani again. Manchester United passing up the chance to put one in the penalty area, but Carrick will now. And Berbatov applying enough pressure on Joleon Lescott. Manchester United with another corner. Short to Park. Back to Valencia again, who'll stand one up. Only Berbatov at the back. He got there. Not the easiest of headers in between defenders, but Roberto Mancini, you can see a little bit of concern. Look at the last, what, Curtis? 5, maybe pushing on 10 minutes. We haven't seen Adam Johnson, David Silva, Balotelli.
They haven't had the ball there, so they can't keep it. It seems to be long balls. We've got no one that wants to progress with the pass and get it out to the wide man. It's okay getting it to the wide man, but if they're not in the final third, it's really ineffective.
Van der Sar takes control of that situation again. And for the Manchester City supporters, they've waited a long time to get back to Wembley. May 1999 under Joe Royle. They won rather what was then the Division 2 playoff final against Gillingham. Gillingham side that was coached by Tony Pulis. Ferdinand gives it to Scholes again. Almost everything going through him, and again he just chips the ball out to the flanks to Evra this time. Nani. He'll try again. Evra has pushed on. What do Manchester City have to do, Curtis? The scoreline, you'd have to say, is a good one for them at the moment. Manchester United have had the chances, but to get themselves back in possession of the ball, to try and exert some control in the game now.
They have a few times they've won possession and rushed it. We looked earlier when there was a shot blocked on the edge of the box. Yaya Toure started sprinting out. This is a guy who played for Barcelona, a world-class player, and he just gives it away willy-nilly. United get it again and keep it for 20 passes. They need to concentrate on the pass and get United moving.
Park. Strong challenge, good challenge by Gareth Barry, but a United throw in. And a foul throw in from Nani.
You've got to get some stats on that. I can't remember the last days I've seen from an international player. Mike Dean can't believe it either.
He looked disgusted, the referee, didn't he? He'll be hoping, Mike Dean, he'll be praying. He'd been dreaming last night of an uneventful final, at least for him. So far, no big talking point from an officiating point of view. Scholes whips it out to that right-hand side again. A lovely ball, forced Kolarov to head it. I'd like to say he's enjoying it, but I bet he isn't, Curtis, sitting there.
No, there's no way either is he as well. I think he just loves to play. He looks like a guy that would love playing five-a-sides out in the street with the kids. Hernandez, I think he's doing a real breath of fresh air in the league this season.
Might have seen Michael Owen sitting there alongside Ryan Giggs as well. Michael Owen, who scored those late goals for Liverpool at the Millennium Stadium against Arsenal 10 years ago now. Missing chance for Valencia, charged down by Lescott. Evra. Look how many sky blue shirts are behind the ball here. Nani. Taking on Zabaleta. He's had the better of that duel so far. Deep cross. And Kolarov has to head it behind.
But again, no pressure on the cross. There's Nani can just get out of his feet. Really not many red shirts in the box, and they get a corner kick, another set piece. They seem to be all over the place at the moment for Man City.
Vidic, a late arrival. He'll attack this one and get there. Just didn't get enough on it.
Now Lovetree comes in late, Des. He never stands in there. He always comes in late so he can get out a run. He tries to judge the flight of it. I think Wayne Rooney's probably thinking I would have two by now if he had the chance.
Looking at the replay there, the three Manchester City big men lined up, about 10 yards between them all, and nobody even looked at Vidic. Hart going long. Big header won by Ferdinand, and now Berbatov. Better from Zabaleta that time. Adam Johnson. Rare chance to get forward here. Silva. Those are the two they look for, that little bit of invention. Yaya Toure. Gareth Barry. And Kolarov has gone from left back. Barry chips it in and straight into the arms of Van der Sar. It's their best piece of possession, Manchester City, in a good 10, maybe even pushing 15 minutes. Final ball from Barry.
You know, in these games, Des, you will have occasions when you do get your passes and you get into that final tour, and you've got to have that bit of quality. We know Man United have. They've had 2 efforts on goal already from around the edge of the box. I didn't think it was good play from Barry.
De Jong to bring it away. It's a good ball forward. Balotelli has protected it well. Silva. Just forced to hold on. He's looking for support, and Barry and De Jong trying to push forward. There's De Jong's ball. And again, no chance whatsoever for Balotelli there.
You can see the frustration, isn't it? He's saying just pass the ball, just keep it, do simple, because they're not progressive passes, as I've mentioned already. Keep it simple, keep just shifting the ball, and when we can shift it, we'll get it to the danger men. Johnson, Silva, Balotelli.
Well, he knows what it's like. What a striker he was in his day. to play up top and not get the service. He'll be knowing what Balotelli is feeling now. I won't be saying he'll know what's going on in Balotelli's head. I don't think anybody does. Maybe even not Mario himself at times. Just to give you the substitutes for Manchester City, the outfielders today: Boyata, Milner, Vieira, Wright Phillips, Dzeko and Joe. And for Manchester United, Smalling, Gibson, Anderson, Hernandez, Owen and Fabio. If and when the manager is up to change things up a bit, this will break for Scholes. Shifts it out to the right side, Valencia, who's got 3 inside now. Still with Valencia. Held up by Kolarov, de Jong there as well. So Carrick short. It was a lunge in from Gareth Barry. And the referee had an option to allow advantage there. O'Shea was in possession.
I think it's a free kick. Definitely Barry goes flying in, just doesn't get there. But I think it's Carrick shouting after it to Mike Dean that gets the free kick, because John O'Shea's got no problem, he's got no pressure on the ball, but I think Carrick said, let's get Nanny or Paul Scholes on it.
Joe Hart trying to organise and trying to assemble a 4-man defensive wall. Scholes looking for any chink at all in it. Heading towards half an hour played at Wembley. It's Nani. He's going to whip it in. It comes off the wall. Another United corner to come.
And I think he's bullied Paul Scholes off it there. And I was just expecting a bit more off him. Very tame free kick and lucky to get a corner kick.
Well, de Jong, the man, standing strong at the end of it. Now Vidic. Let's see who takes an interest in him this time from a City defensive point of view. Onto the penalty spot where Berbatov will win it. Hart, I think, always had his angles covered there.
I think he's picked it out again. There's, you know, not many red shorts in there, but he just seemed to be winning every header. And I think you can do all zonal marking, you can man-to-man marking, but if you don't want someone determined to go and win the header, they won't win it.
And there you see it, 7 attempts for Manchester United, just 1 for Manchester City. He needs better, he needs more from his side. And Berbatov, a legacy of that header a moment ago, just taking a bang on the head. It's been in the wars today. No pressure here on Vidic, so he can amble forward. Well, maybe he'll justify that by saying we've only got 10 men. I was knocking it out of play, but this was the challenge with Zabaleta that left Berbatov with a bloodied nose.
You can see he's just caught the top of Zabaleta's header when he followed through. But again, you've put the smallest lad on Berbatov, and you'd probably be thinking he should be hitting the target from there.
Still with 10 for the moment, Manchester United as Silva keeps it in City possession. Zabaleta. Johnson. De Jong. No harm in this for Manchester City, just put some passes together. Now Silva. Really elegant player on the ball, David Silva. There's the cross, Balotelli. And Barry's in there as well, got his shot away, side netting. Best attack so far for Manchester City.
It's the first time they've tried to keep it, and he sustained pressure, past the ball. Silva, the danger man for me, gets the cross in again. It's quick feet, Barry. It's a hard chance, has the swivel on it. Balotelli's touch just goes away from him, but he uses his strength here, Barry. And I think John O'Shea just does enough to push him wide. And I would say that Edwin van der Sar would have had that one covered. But again, it's a good bit of play. First bit of play we've had after half an hour.
Certainly better from Manchester City. No surprise to see Silva heavily involved in it. I think between Barry and the manager there, they're just trying to push their side further up the pitch here. Johnson. It's come off Carrick. Kept in play by Nani. Scott, the man who has certainly profited from that suspension for Kolo Touré. Johnson looks for one over the top, but that's between centre halves, and again, not what Balotelli would be looking for. Yaya Touré, and now Johnson. He's got himself into a good position. He's eased past Evra. And tried to do a little bit too much, dug out by Silva. Well, they're beginning to come to life now, Roberto Mancini's side.
As we said, it's exciting, isn't it, when one of them get on the ball in that final third and they're running at people. You feel something's going to happen.
Interesting as well that Johnson and Silva, they're more or less playing very close to each other now. I suspected at the start Silva might be wide left, Johnson wide right. Silva certainly not operating in that role. As Lescott comes forward, then thinks better of it. Kolarov. Balotelli, nice turn, and an effort from distance was a cracking one. Good save from Van der Sar, that looked like it moved, but plenty of power here.
They've had a great couple of minutes here, and you're thinking he's not going to hit this, he must be 30 yards out, but what a strike, and Edwin van der Sar has had to shift his feet here, get good hand on it, bit of strength, and gets it over. Good play from Balotelli.
Had to watch that all the way, Van der Sar. Good, strong right hand on it. Kolarov over everyone. Company is furious. He just had a word or two with Kolarov there, having gone all the way forward for the corner. Here's David Silva. Prods it forward. It was Lescott. Wrong man in the wrong position there. Best little period of the game so far, though, for City. Barry telling Touré to push on. Balotelli. Still with Touré trying to pick their way through here. Silva. Johnson trying to shake off Park. Good run from Adam Johnson, and still going.
There's good play again, a bit of rotation, a bit of short passing around the edge of the box, and again asking questions. And good defending again from John O'Shea.
Committed run from Adam Johnson. Once he was in that penalty area, you could see the worry on the Manchester United defenders. It's a lovely corner, and Silva just tried to eke out a ball.
And Ji-sung Park just gets caught here. And again, Silva with his quality, you're thinking he's going to pick someone out or get a shot on target, and makes the wrong decision.
Johnson, a little more direct this time. Oh, and at the back post was Lescott. That's another chance for Manchester City.
Well, I think you mentioned him earlier, wrong man in the wrong place, and again it's happened to him. Probably anyone on the pitch you don't want to fall to. No disrespect to Julian Lescott, but it's a volley from 6 yards out. Maybe with the quality he's got, he should be hitting the target, even a side foot to hit the target there. But you're thinking if it falls to any of the striking players, it's a goal.
You could see it was a bit of a swinger with his right foot, wasn't it, Lescott? Might have fancied it on his left. 3 seasons ago, he was in double figures for Everton. Just the one this season for Manchester City. That's a sloppy pass. Berbatov, Park into the penalty area. Good work from Lescott, back at his more accustomed end. And Manchester United to come again. Valencia slips it into Park. This is looking dangerous. Nani. Good goalkeeping from Hart. Brave goalkeeping. Vidic has gone down. It was a jump to Balotelli. We may get a replay of that in a moment or two.
I didn't think there was much in. I did see him have a little look for Vidic, but how many times has Vidic done this to someone else? So I think got to take it sometimes.
I think you're a brave man to have a look at Vidic, especially to do anything with it.
A bit reckless there from Company, but again, sometimes I don't mind that, because the Man United players sometimes have had too much time on the ball. I think they're probably thinking now, let's get after them. Let's not get them to get settled on the ball.
And it's in an area where they should be able to defend it as Scholes goes short to Nani. Carrick. Scholes again, whose passing's been exemplary today, and he's returned to the side. Valencia. O'Shea there if he wants to use him, he doesn't. Maybe now wishing he had. It's carried all the way through to Evra. Carrick looking for one over De Jong. Here's Nani to take it first time. Difficult chance.
As it dropped down the sky, Des, I thought there's no way he's going to take a touch here. But again, it's the old legs of Skull running in behind, and as it fell, he has the technical ability to score from there. And you know, he wouldn't put it past him. You know, probably 5 times out of 10 he would hit the target, but not on that occasion.
You'd imagine a happy man with the 39 minutes so far. Just not the goal though that maybe their first 30 minutes deserved.
And probably the last 5 minutes, he's probably the happier man, Mancini, because they've opened up. But maybe the last, I think it was 31 minutes when he had a first chance. They've opened up a little bit and started to play.
Carrick. Berbatov offside.
But he's not off there, is he? When you go by the lines in the pitch, he's in line with Lescott.
Berbatov's a man who should have had Manchester United in front early on. Space of 15 seconds denied by a great save by Hart, and then somehow missing from 3 yards. The goalkeeper. Sloppy from Evra, seized on by Adam Johnson. Now Silva. Balotelli. Tees up Kolarov. Tracked back by Valencia. Physically very strong, Valencia. Showed it to good effect there. Lovely ball round the corner from Nani. And Berbatov looked to be getting on it. Good defensive work though from Vincent Kompany. Big 5 minutes now as we head towards half-time. Toure. Johnson's control just a little bit loose. Van der Sar gets plenty on that. It's towards Berbatov. Kompany the winner again. Conceded another free kick. They've given quite a few away in this first half, Manchester City.
Berbatov, his body language sometimes you're not really sure where he is, but it's Yaya Toure coming in and Michael Carrick as he plays. It just uses his strength, not much in it. You always see the free kick given.
A little fussy there from Mike Dean, right in the halfway line. Vidic, who had a chance of his own, of course, in the corner. Against his header a few yards wide. O'Shea. Silva. It's a nice ball, well weighted, and Yaya Toure skips away from Scholes and still going. Terrific run. What a challenge from Vidic.
Great challenge. It's all about two players, isn't it? Yaya Toure, strength and pace here, just driving. No one's going to stop him. But Vidic, what defending. Looks at the ball all the time, gets his body in the way. Great defending.
Silva with a set up here on the edge. What a strike that was. Terrific effort from Company, who hasn't scored this season. His reaction will tell you that wasn't a million miles away.
I think Van der Sar's reaction as well tells us a lot here. As it slid across, he just tries to bend around the players and it's inches away. Great strike from Company, not known for his goal-scoring exploits, as you said, but inches away.
In terms of technique, it was a crisp strike from Vincent Kompany. But as the half has gone on, they've gotten better. Good win from Lescott this time over Berbatov. Valencia surely are taking the shirt from Kolarov. Play goes on. And Berbatov this time gets there. Wasteful cross.
We're back to it again, and you won't want to see this. For me, he's got to just get his foot over the ball and he slides it in. OK, you've got Joe Hart diving at him. You've got Kolarov coming in from behind, and then our man Balotelli, who we've seen little flashes of in this first half. Great strike from about 30 yards with good goalkeeping.
Don't want to tempt fate, but his head looks right today, Balotelli. Not getting involved in anything.
I think you're tempting fate there, Des. I think he doesn't know what's going to happen for every 10 seconds or every minute in the game. So let's wait till about the 89th minute. We'll probably talk about it a bit more then.
Well, as they're chasing success, as they're desperately chasing a trophy, none since '76. His moment of madness against Dynamo Kiev when he went in on Goran Popov. Cost them a shot at the Europa League. They were pretty much everyone's favourites for that. It's the FA Cup or nothing in terms of trophies now. Great run from Evra. Oh, he's digged out a cross as well. Valencia at the back post. And another corner to come. First real surge from Patrice Evra.
This is where Man City really have to concentrate just before half-time. Don't give anything away from a set piece. Get organised.
Balotelli has trotted back just to take up that position of first defender. Joe Hart making sure everyone knows what their job is here. Whose job is it to keep an eye on Vidic? Little variation on the corner. Scholes. Valencia back to Scholes again. On the edge is Carrick. Early delivery cleared by Zabaleta. Doesn't get much distance on it though. Nani. It's asking a lot of Vidic. Asking too much of Vidic. And we head into stoppage time.
It's disappointing, isn't it? They've won every header from every corner that's been put into the box, and then they decide to go short. Wonder if he can do the hairdryer from up there.
Don't think it would be any surprise today were it to go to extra time, and maybe even penalties. Provision for those will be decided today. Manchester United will be back in league action pretty quickly as well. They have a trip to Newcastle to come on Tuesday. They want to win it in 90. Scholes. Now Manchester City are getting tighter. Good win back by Carrick though. Nani shifts away from De Jong. Company there as well, and the two former Hamburg men. I think Nani was going to get away from both of them. Evra. Just a little misunderstanding with Nani. That brings us into the final seconds. Curtis, reflection so on this first half?
I think it's been a good first half. I think it's taken half an hour for Man City to really come out and play. I thought we were quite negative early in the first half and give Man United too much respect, probably dropping off them, but they've really come into the game. I think it's been an intriguing first half, and I think the second half can only be really better than this, because I think someone's got to open up and try and win this game.
Is there time for one final chance for either side? It might come Manchester United's way. Nani. Good pressure from Zabaleta though, but here's Carrick. Final 10 seconds of the first half. Carrick puts one in there. Berbatov. Oh, first touch was great, second off his knee. A frustrating first half for him.
I think it just sums up what he's about, isn't it? You know, sometimes it looks immaculate and sometimes it just looks like his body language is not going to happen today.
Well, that should see us through to half-time. No Rooney today, no Tevez today, and so far no goal for either side. Berbatov certainly with the best chances as Manchester United dominated early on. You'll still be wondering how he missed that one, but he skied over the bar. But Manchester City came into it, Balotelli to the fore at half-time.
This program is brought to you by Sporting Bet. There's no better bet than a sporting bet. Live Serie A this weekend on Setanta Sports. Live Serie A this weekend on Setanta Sports.
The Aviva Premiership on Setanta Sports. Log on to our website for scheduling and information.
Hello from Sporting Bet here. My team is passionate about giving you the best betting experience on racing and sport. It's built by punters for punters, and our advanced technology lets you access the latest stats, form and more. Sporting Bet offers a huge range of options and services, and joining's easy. Bet fast online or on your mobile, anywhere, anytime. And that's why I say there's no better bet than a Sporting Bet.
The Eredivisie on Setanta Sports. Log on to our website for scheduling and information. May is the month of champions on Setanta Sports. The FA Cup final, live from Wembley Stadium.
Brilliant goal!
Rangers and Celtic go for the SPL Championship, plus the Scottish FA Cup final. European football with a race for the Coppa Italia, the Scudetto and the Bundesliga. Live SPL this Thursday morning on Setanta Sports as Kilmarnock welcome league leader Celtic to Rugby Park. Live SPL this Thursday morning on Setanta Sports.
Live Serie A next weekend on Setanta Sports with Juventus versus Catania. Live Serie A, Juventus versus Catania next weekend on Setanta Sports.
The Aviva Premiership on Setanta Sports. Log on to our website for scheduling and information. May is the month of champions on Setanta Sports. The FA Cup final, live from Wembley Stadium.
Brilliant goal!
Rangers and Celtic go for the SPL Championship, plus the Scottish FA Cup final. European football with a race for the Coppa Italia, the Scudetto and the Bundesliga.
This program is brought to you by Sporting Bet. There's no better bet than a sporting bet.
0-0 at the break. Who has shaded that first half, do you feel?
Manchester City. I mean, you know, they were so slow starting, but of course they would be. They're coming off a dreadful result against Liverpool, desperate to get in the top four. That makes it hard. And, you know, United have just knocked Chelsea out of the Champions League to get into a semi-final. United were supreme. How on earth did Berbatov not get in the score sheet in those first few minutes? Now, look here. Lescott and Barry give the ball away, combine, put each other in trouble. Now that looks, how did that chance happen? It's a really good save, by the way. But look at Scholes here. First time ball in from Carrick. Great little touch by Scholes, makes the chance and Park feeds it in. And once again, sometimes you beat people with your turn. We saw it with Scholes there, and here Nani does the same. Leave Zabaleta for dead. This is the chance now. Give Koloff some credit, but how did Berbatov miss that one? And again, the marking there from Yaya Toure, gets caught flat-footed, and the aggression, passion of Vidic. And Rooney says, I would have scored.
Do City deserve credit for playing their way into this?
Yeah, I mean, it's been very, very tight, and of course it would be. It's a Manchester derby. There's so much at stake for both football clubs. I thought that once David Silva got on the ball that we saw a different Manchester City. What does that give you? It gives you the creativity, and, you know, you're opening doors, which he can do. He has the vision to see the pass and execute them, but it also pushes Paul Scholes back. If Villa gets on the ball, Paul Scholes is less effective in the opponent's final third. Barry, a little bit unlucky there. I thought it was a really tight angle. Just out-muscled John O'Shea slightly there. He's slightly disappointed. Balotelli's had really good moments. This is sensational ability. Can he find consistency? Can he find self-control? And we hear people talk about strong fists from goalkeepers and strong wrists. There it is, an example of both. My goodness me. You know, we see what we want to see, Paul, when we talk about football. And we, you know, if this was Manchester City doing this, the great Alex Ferguson, how can he justify his defending from set pieces in that particular incident? Can't believe there's not a breakthrough. I think it's fascinating stuff.
Mancini, will he be saying to this point, this is fine?
No, I think he'll be a little bit frustrated that they started so slowly. I think he's a manager that I think in that United dressing room they've got that years of experience that they feel, well, you know, we don't quite know how things are okay, but it kind of always happens that way. Whereas in the other dressing room, when you haven't won your first trophy, if you ask Ferguson, is he less intense with the players now than when he was at that particular time? So I think there'll be a little bit more intensity in the Manchester City dressing room, and they've got so many options on the bench. The longer this game stays at 0-0, the more advantageous it is in terms of Manchester City's favour, because the fans just do not want to be beaten. And Manchester City had such a tough start in this game that they earned the right to play, and they earned the right to fight. And I was quite impressed, more impressed than I think they've been given credit for the performance and shift they put in the first half.
So City right in it. They've got to roll with it, you might say, but it's all to be sorted out.
Is there? It's just either madness or brilliance with him. And there's a guy that I'm sure Man City fans hope, you know, Hernandez, he's not only got the ability, Paul, but he's got the attitude and he's got the composure. But Joe Hart, what a big save that may turn out to be with that stop against Berbatov. Absolutely top draw.
Here comes City. Back we go to Curtis and Des.
Thanks, Paul. And to follow on that, I guess in the tail of the goalkeepers, Curtis, it could come down to them. You've got Edwin van der Sar at one end, 40. And in the form of his life as he begins to end his Manchester United career. At the other end, Joe Hart, who'll turn 24 on Tuesday, and his was the big moment in that first half.
Well, there's no doubt about it. At 24, he's a baby, really, in goalkeeping terms. They seem to get better with age. I see Mark Swarter, I played with at Fulham's, got better and better as the years have gone on. He knows about his game, and I think it could come down to penalties and two very, very good keepers. I rate Hart very, very highly.
As we prepare to get this second half underway, I think, just in terms of what Pat said as well, it's simple. It's about the result today. Performance doesn't matter. If you win 1-0 and it's the worst goal in the world, it's a victory that will bring you back here next month for a cup final, and what that would mean to Manchester City. Manchester United, the Wembley past masters. Is it to be theirs in this second half? Could it go to extra time? Could it go all the way to penalties? I don't think that would surprise any, as Carrick looks for an early ball here. Another running for Nani to do, and he's pressurised Zabaleta. And conceded the free kick right down by that far corner flag.
It was interesting what Pat was saying there is, you know, Mancini saying, give me that 45 minutes, but is he going to make a decision himself in that 45 minutes? Are we going to go and win it, maybe take one of the holding midfielders off and really go for it? Or are they going to sit and wait and hopefully to get a chance?
You know what cup semi-finals are like, Curtis, don't you? They can be tetchy and nervy and edgy.
There's no doubt about it, and I played in the FA Cup final against Chesterfield down at Old Trafford it was, and Kevin Davis played in the game, and we lost a man after 15 minutes, and we played most of the game, and we were lucky enough to bring them to a replay. But again, we got over the line, and it's that bit of luck and that bit of quality to get you there.
Little touch from Adam Johnson is a good one. Here's Balotelli. Yaya Toure. Ball was played behind him though. Paul Scholes timed that one well.
I'm just such a fan of Scholes. You know, the team just looks stronger. You know, we all say we're going to miss Giggs because he's been on fire, but Scholes comes in and he's been immaculate.
By my reckoning, this is within and about his 670th Manchester United appearance, Paul Scholes. He's been out of the side of late. He's been talking again about retiring and the timing of it. And he had a 20-minute spell in that first half where everything went through him.
I just think if you speak to any player from any club, fans, they'd all love Paul Scholes in the team.
Great ball from Yaya Toure, first time Ferdinand stretching. As indeed was Kolarov, both men claiming it. Manchester United getting it.
I don't see Ferdinand having to open his legs as much as that usually in games, but he's had to open them there to see, but he's done brilliant at the end, doesn't dive in, lets Kolarov put the ball out.
Very good shout, Curtis. Normally you just see him in this area where he picks up the ball, gives it simple. Don't often see him at full pelt. Sign of a good defender, knows where to start.
I'd say Sir Alex is probably panicking as he saw him having to open those legs.
Here's Parr keeping it short. Oh, Valencia thinking a move ahead. Onto his second or third pack of gum by now, I'd say.
I think it does have an effect in the team with the manager being up there. For me, I think that sometimes he doesn't have to say anything. He just walks out into that technical area and glares, and I think people know they've got to come up with something or sort of passing out or work a bit harder. And I think with him set up there, that definitely does have an effect on the way the team is going to play.
And sometimes just the glowering presence on the edge of the technical area can do it. Interception from Carrick was a good one. Here's Berbatov, read by De Jong. Barry and Kolarov. City happy to go backwards, keep possession, start again through Company. Nice little pick up. Balotelli's got turned and heading goalwards here. And Valencia has let Kolarov go. Manchester United had enough men at that near post to avert the danger.
And that's twice you've seen Kolarov getting down that left-hand side. Valencia gets caught out ball watching. It's good defending again from Vidic. But you see here, he comes late, Kolarov. Valencia switches off. It's a great chance to get a ball in and whips it near post. And good defending. I think as Balotelli knocks it out, but Vidic very, very close to him.
Backward Hart. Ooh, a swing and a slice. Nani might be on this. Rescued by Zabaleta. Berbatov making heavy weather this Manchester City. Better from Hart that time. Effortlessly taken under control by Toure. Such a powerful runner. And show of dissent now from Yaya Toure. Some of our referees take action in these situations. I think it's going to be a telling off only.
And that's just defending, and it's part of the game now, isn't it? Defenders can fall as well as strikers. You talk about Joe Hart being a baby. It's one of his strengths is kicking in that, but he didn't look like he'd ever kicked the ball before there when it came to him.
You just hope it won't be a game with all that's riding on it and all the emotion and the occasion that's decided by a mistake. Whoever would make that mistake would be living it for a long time. Looks a little bit anxious.
It's a big 45 minutes for him, isn't it? You talk about the club and everything, but
it's a late one by Evra. Adam Johnson felt that one.
I think Evra's got his head, you know, his eyes on the ball. I don't think he's going to hurt Johnson there, but mistimes his jump and goes right through the back of Adam Johnson. It's a sore one.
I think more painful for Johnson because he wasn't expecting it. Evra could see exactly what was going to happen. Adam Johnson from a part of the world you're well accustomed with, of course, Curtis.
I've seen him play as a kid at the academy, come all the way through, and you know he's gone on to bigger and better things, I think, and he's only starting as well. I think there's a lot more to come from him.
Ferdinand again strolling through it, loose from Van der Sar. I'm glad that O'Shea was on the scene. It's a mistake by Carrick. Yaya Toure has the strength to go all the way here, and Manchester City lead. Yaya Toure's goal. Oh, what a mistake from Michael Carrick.
And what they've done in the second half is if they've closed down a bit higher up the park, they haven't let United settle on it, and a couple of times they've nearly nicked it, but they get the break and they get their goal.
Very well finished when he got there.
And initially it's not great ball back from Ferdinand to Van der Sar. Again they recoup, and it comes to Carrick, who hasn't given a ball away all day, but Yaya Toure, so big and so strong, doesn't panic, knocks it by Vidic, and it's a great finish. But you can just see the strength of the man here. He's so big, Vidic can't get there and keeps it cool and slips it through Van der Sar's legs.
Great finish. He's 8th of the season, Yaya Toure, but not many in that situation have the strength and power to see off Vidic, and then the poise to stroke it home. We have the breakthrough goal.
I would say the airways from Ferguson down to the bench is flying now. Is Hernandez going to be coming on sooner rather than later?
Well, the one positive from Manchester United's point of view is that it's a goal against them that's come early in the second half. Still plenty of time as Lescott goes route one here. Excellent header from Ferdinand under pressure from Balotelli. Referee's blown the whistle. Yaya Toure, who we became used to seeing in that dominating, devastating defensive midfield role at Barcelona, when he let the likes of Xavi and Iniesta go forward. Different role for him at Manchester City. And here he goes again. Can't fancy a second himself, passed up the opportunity to shoot. And a good last-ditch challenge there from Evra, who brings it forward now for Manchester United. They'll be looking for a quick response.
Look how high Man City are up now, Des. They're not dropping off. They were dropping off right over the halfway line, but every time United player getting it now, there's someone up behind them.
We saw the difference there in the goal as well, didn't we? When it came around in the first half, Carrick and Scholes, there were times when they were just keeping the ball between them. As Carrick tried to find Scholes, the pass was read. Seconds later, the ball in the back of Manchester United's net. Maybe questions asked in some quarters when they paid 24 million for a player who was seen as a defensive midfielder, but Roberto Mancini saw something more in his game. And here he goes. Company is forward. On the left-hand side is Silva. It's opening up for Manchester City. Big block that from Ferdinand.
Yaya Toure is going crazy, pulled off into a fantastic position there on the penalty spot, expecting to get picked out.
Of all players on the Manchester City side, you'd have expected Silva to deliver. They've got their tails up now. De Jong and Silva. Hunting a second now. Kolarov. Barry squeezes one through to Silva. Spins and sets up Toure to whip one in. All of a sudden, Manchester United on the back foot.
They're in the ascendancy now, aren't they? They're playing at a better tempo, a great tempo. Silva's getting on a Yaya Toure, and they look a real threat.
Well, they survived the first 20 minutes, Manchester City, and have grown and grown since. It's found its way all the way to Balotelli. Look for that bottom corner and might again. Retrieved by De Jong. That hard save from Berbatov early in the game, looking an even better one now.
That's hugely important, and really Man City, all they're doing now is they're starting to ask questions. You know, in the first half it took a half an hour for them to get the belief, to pass forward, to look dangerous, and now they've started the second half really well.
And a goal, their reward.
And Michael Carrick again, no pressure, but it's a good touch. Yaya Toure again, he's been told to close down, but this is the money ball. That's where he takes his time. He doesn't blast it, he gets it on target, slips it on the Van der Sar, and I think that just shows the quality of the player, and I think they enjoyed it too.
Well, the look of anguish on the face of Edwin van der Sar. Sheer delight for Manchester City. A long way to go though. It was that telescopic right leg of Yaya Toure. Maybe another player Carrick's pass might have found Scholes. Balotelli hunting that one down as well, forcing Van der Sar into a hurried clearance. They found that belief, Manchester City. Recent results have been poor. Lost 2 of their last 3 in the Premier League. Very poor at Anfield on Monday night. Not very much in the past now though, as Kolarov skips forward. Scholes might be onto this. Strong challenge from Gareth Barry. Stronger one from De Jong. Zabaleta. Short, Nani, almost in behind. Well, they spent big, they spent very big. And they've moved a step closer to a long overdue trophy. Maybe a man there who was there in '76 when they won the League Cup.
I keep forgetting it's only a semi-final. It's got that feeling of a final, and you think the winners are going to go up and receive the cup after this. There's so much tension and excitement about it.
And of course, that's overlooking Bolton and Stoke with a huge day of their own tomorrow. And for both, what a great chance when they were kept apart from the Manchester sides in the semi-final draw. Both will fancy their chances. Only one to go through, as is the case today. Manchester City, that side as it stands. Of all sides, though, Manchester United, the side that has never beaten until the final whistle. Kolarov. One may not be enough. Balotelli looking for a set-up. They converged on him quickly. And Nani, it's a strong challenge, a good challenge from Zabaleta. Referee right on the scene. Good work from the goal scorer, Toure. De Jong. Manchester United struggling to gain any possession at the moment. All the passes finding a man in the second half for City. Looking comfortable, looking confident. Oh, Ferdinand sold himself there. He's got the decision from Mike Dean as Balotelli spun away.
I think he's very lucky there, Des. I think it's great strength from Balotelli. He senses he's coming around the side. Not much in that for me. It's great body strength from Balotelli. Ferdinand goes on the wrong side and gets shoved out of the way.
But even when they've been given against him today, maybe with the exception of a corner he felt he should have had a little bit earlier, Balotelli keeping his counsel. He's not berating the officials. I think after what happened against Dynamo Kiev, someone obviously had a stern chat with him. There's Yaya Toure, Balotelli to the right, Silva and Kolarov to the left. He's gone for Balotelli. And Vidic forced to defend as the flag stayed down.
But initially again, Yaya Toure's really coming onto a game now. Great bit of play around the midfield area. Slips to the Balotelli, and just this first touch just goes away from him a little bit too much. He'd want to be keeping a little bit tighter to his feet so he could get his shot away. But Vidic there again to defend.
Super challenge from the United skipper. Corner taken short. They've a 2-on-1 out there as Park is the man caught in the middle. Adam Johnson, lovely trick onto the end line. Oh, Van der Sar could have gone anywhere.
Well, you talk about step overs here, and you're going to see one of the best step overs ever. I think Everett's gone for a pie here. He's gone, runs at him. Little step over here from Johnson. Fantastic playing, just to pick out. Doesn't get it right. Bit of luck here from Van der Sar. I think he hits his legs, comes back and hits his left hand. Great bit of play from Johnson.
Back with the action, and again it's 2-on-1 out there. Deep cross, Yaya Toure has taken it down. Ferdinand stretching out again, but Jason Park is over there on his own, not just once but twice.
Well, we were talking about the defending from Man City earlier, and I think Pat mentioned it in studio at half-time. That's terrible defending, really. Ferdinand lets it go over his head, and probably the top player in the second half can take it on his chest and nearly get a shot away. Not good enough.
And a second for Manchester City, and it would be a long road back for Manchester United. Silva. Oh, it's a great cross, and maybe should have been from Lescott. Terrific opportunity.
He's got to score. He's got to score for me. It's a fantastic ball in again, but he gets away from Berbatov here, Lescott. It's a whiffed ball in. What a fantastic ball. He's got to score. He's 6 yards out, gets across the front of Berbatov. All he's got to do is head it down, keep her on target, and it's a goal. He'll know how bad a miss that is.
And the supporters behind the goal, the West End of Wembley, certainly know it as well. O'Shea was all over Balotelli. That wasn't spotted. Still should have scored, Lescott. Chance in each half for him. Scholes, man over on the left is Park. Johnson got there eventually. Evra and Park again. He's done well here and receives it back from Nani. Excellent challenge from De Jong. O'Shea. First time we've seen him forward in the second half, which is almost 20 minutes old now. They won't panic, Manchester United. So much experience in the big games in this side. Park, the man to come up with the big goals when needed. Evra. Difficult one for Nani to control. Evra still in there. Scholes as well. Little harem, scare him. Oh, Park right on the edge. Zabaleta dived in.
For me, it's a harsh booking again. I don't think there's any malice in it. And Zabaleta in the second half has absolutely crunched Nani twice. He's got about 4 or 5 tackles in, and again, he's just a little bit rash here. Dives in. Yellow card to me? No, I don't think so. Just a mistimed tackle. Heated battle.
Well, if it wasn't a foul from Company, it certainly was from Zabaleta. What a good position this now. Does Nani fancy this one as well? Scholes standing, as you can see, just about 5 or 6 yards back as Hernandez comes on for Valencia. 18 goals in his debut season, Hernandez. He started it with a most ungainly finish here on his debut in the Community Shield when it went in off his nose in the end, I think. Anything will do for Manchester United to get back to parity. Could it be something spectacular from Nani? Joe Hart, centre of his goal to start with. Nani has a look and goes for it and is so close to finding it. Did Hart get a fingertip on it to help it onto the crossbar?
I think he gets a touch on this. I think it's a great free kick. Gets it up over the wall and down. Takes a slight deflection and good strong left hand there from Hart. I think it takes a deflection off the wall. I think it's Balotelli's head. And then Hart's got to adjust. He gets his left hand there, gets a little bit of luck with a touch off the post, but it's good handling again.
Well, it's a super save. He was gone for the initial flight of the ball, and then the little nick off Balotelli. Changed the direction. Great reactions from the Manchester City goalkeeper. Keeps his side in front. Lescott back to Hart. That's a good clearance. Yaya Touré's touch just a little heavy. Allows Vidic in. Zabaleta wanted it to run. Scholes loose. Barry fashions a pass to Kolarov, on in turn to Silva. A growing influence in the game, David Silva. De Jong. Touré. Pocket picked by Park. Berbatov, who we haven't seen in it at all second half.
I think it's funny, Zabaleta gets booked a couple of minutes before, and again Balotelli comes absolutely flying through. Mike Dean, no consistency, just lets him away with that.
And the big thing from the Manchester City point of view, they got their noses in front, and crucially they've held that lead for 15 minutes now. Header won by Vidic. Little touch from Nani, but no one in behind him, so Lescott can clear. Confirmation of the earlier caution for Zabaleta. Great position his side are in. He won't be happy though until that final whistle goes, or maybe until they get a second goal. Good work from Park. And De Jong quietly but efficiently going about his business second half.
I just think they've got to stick to their guns now, Man City. The best form defence is attack for me. They can't drop off and invite Man United to come at them. They've got to keep playing the way they started the second half.
One back by Balotelli. De Jong will look to find him again, and Kolarov joining in on his own, but he can hit from distance here, taking on Ferdinand and O'Shea. A wild effort in the end.
And again, there's been a bit of strength down this left-hand side. There's 3 or 4 times now we've seen Kolarov getting involved, but we're back to the goal here. Ferdinand touching the Cardiff. He's got time, just tries to be too precise with the pass, but it's all about Yaya Touré here. Great bit of strength. Not many people you see brush past Vidic like that. But he's a big man, he's very, very quick, and he's got great ability and class finish.
Well, it's the celebration learned from those Lech Poznan supporters in the Europa League earlier in the season. What a sight that is. De Jong. Barry, warned by his supporters of the impending arrival of Berbatov. Touré is covering so much ground second half.
I just think he's just been a totally different player.
And the brother would certainly have appreciated it. Patrick Vieira may be wondering if he'll get a chance today. A man with a good cup pedigree in England and in Italy. 4 FA Cups with Arsenal, 2 Coppa Italias with Inter. Hernandez, who we haven't mentioned since he's come on. Gave a ball back, then couldn't shake off company as he tried to get in behind.
Man United haven't got into the rhythm now, have they? And Wayne Rooney will be disappointed because he'll be thinking, I want to play in a cup final. You know, I know I'm missing a game today, but go and win it because I know I'll get a chance.
Alex Ferguson with that amazing semi-final record, 8 wins from 9. In 20 minutes, found at least 1 goal now.
I don't think Man City will switch off because I think it's the 3 of the last 6 games. Man United have scored 90th or 91st, 92nd minute.
And the Skulls didn't get that one right. Oh, he's gone. Straight red card for Paul Scholes. And has Manchester United's chance gone with it? Mike Dean saw enough in that challenge to go with a straight red.
It just seems a shock to everybody that that's happened. Mike Dean, he said he's been having a good game. You haven't really heard about him or seen him for 70 minutes in this game, and then he makes a huge decision here to send Paul Scholes off.
The 9th red card of his Manchester United career, Paul Scholes. Let's have a look at this again. How bad was it?
Yeah, we talk about the young, don't we, in the World Cup, and I think it's one of those again. And when you see it, he's gone right through there, got him on the hip, right in front of Mike Dean. It's a sending off offence.
Oh, it's high and it's late. And from Paul Scholes, knowing his side is 1-0 down inside the last 20 minutes. Very, very foolish.
Yeah, maybe the frustration, he hasn't had as much time, he hasn't played as much in this second half, he hasn't had the chance. And again, I don't think he looked that shocked by the decision. He has left his foot in there. Some referees that we've seen in the World Cup final give a yellow card, but this time it's a red.
Maybe something to do with the upcoming respect campaign for officials, but there didn't seem to be any real clamour from the Manchester City supporters or Manchester City players looking for a red card. The second half really has gone their way. They've got their lead goal. Now they've got the numerical advantage. Can they see this out now, Manchester City, and secure a famous win? Anderson going to come on. Let's see who's going off. It's Berbatov. Had he taken that chance in the first half, how different might it have been?
I think his game would have been totally different. I think he looked like devoid of any ideas and confidence after missing those chances.
Anderson, who only returned from injury against Fulham after his previous game was when he was subbed in the FA Cup game, that game against Crawley. And they needed Wes Brown's goal to squeeze through. And they're in the winning position. Can they see it through? Good first surge from Anderson. Taken down by De Jong.
I think you've got to be careful as well now, man. See, you've picked up a few bookings, and Mike Dean might be looking to even it up. But again, De Jong goes in there, doesn't win it, tackle from behind. I think Anderson makes a lot of it, but again, good decision there from Mike Dean.
Here's the free kick by Nani. Not his best of the day. Get another chance here. Carrick. And Rio Ferdinand. Not a right winger. Wasn't a good ball from Carrick. This could be a very long journey home yet. "15 minutes of normal time to go. Anderson, the strength to hold off De Jong. Park. Too many to beat. Silva out to Johnson. And halfway, the goal scorer, Toure. And this is what they can do now. Try and pass their way to the final whistle.
It's good to see, isn't it, Des? They haven't got to panic, they haven't got to go gung-ho, just keep the ball, make Man United run, and the more they pass, they will open up Manchester United.
Well, as a club, they don't have this experience in this occasion, but look around. Nigel de Jong World Cup final, David Silva World Cup winner, Yaya Toure Champions League winner. Experience all around the park for Manchester City.
I think that Man United have it as a collective. I think it's a team thing, that experience of playing in those big games, and I think there's a kind of a mishmash at the Man City team when you look at it.
Carrick looking for Hernandez. Always a threat, and company knew that. He's ice cool in front of goal, Hernandez, but can they get him in position? Playing left winger at the moment. Into the penalty area to take on Zabaleta and win the corner.
He just gives you energy, Hernandez. When he gets it there, you see all the blue shirts, but you still expect something to happen because of the quality that he has.
Could the 22-year-old be the man to hold 10-man Manchester United back into this? Ferdinand and Vidic forward. Nani in, Vidic will climb. Lescott to half clear. Ferdinand. Carrick looking to place one.
Well, I'd say he was wishing this in. It's good feet again from, looks like he's going to pull the trigger with the right hand, but a right foot, pulls it onto the left foot, gets it on target, but easy enough for Hart.
Well, Silva nicks it away from Anderson. Only Balotelli ahead of him, and Balotelli stopped his run. Manchester United have tasted defeat just 4 times this season. If it is to be 5, it would be the most bitter of all. Touch from Kolarov, and they've got the extra man there now, so space and time for de Jong. Silva. And once more, invites Kolarov forward. Don't fancy taking on O'Shea here. Still with Kolarov, looks for the assist to Toure on the edge. And Carrick with a back pass. That's another play by Nani.
Well, you can see in the second half, Des, you talk about management decisions. He's had a go, Mancini. You get back to the Scholes incident here again. You can see he could pull out of that. There's no doubt about it. He knows he hasn't won it, and I think there's the proof in the pudding.
Don't think Scholes can have any complaints about that one. For a player of his experience.
But he has that red mist, doesn't he, that we see now and again.
Sean Wright-Phillips for Adam Johnson. Frustrating season for Wright-Phillips, but he's been featuring of late again under Mancini. Silva. With strength and skill. Nani and Ferdinand biting at his ankles. Anderson. Carrick for Vidic. Well, the clock is still ticking. Manchester United still alive in this. They've given themselves work to do.
Just wondering, Des, do you throw on the old sniffer of Michael Owen for the last 10 minutes and just let him and Hernandez float around the area? Under the goal threat. Maybe he hasn't got the legs he used to have, Michael Owen, but he knows where the goal is.
Anderson had the legs there. A good header, an important header away from company. And Balotelli. I think he'd have won a lot of Manchester City supporters over again today, Curtis.
He has. He's been very calm. He's been strong. A couple of times he could have fallen over. He hasn't. He stood up. He's been the main linchpin. He's been ably supported by Yaya Toure. I think the two of them have been very, very good today.
O'Shea pushing on. Nani. Barry asks him to make his move. Here's Hernandez. Trying to shake up Lescott. He's got himself in here, Hernandez. Important block. Retrieved by Nani. Sets up O'Shea. Sends in the first-time cross. Park at the back post. Just couldn't get enough on it to loop it over Hart.
It's a good ball in there, and Zabaleta, it's going away from there. Park just gets a header on it. Again, safe hands from Joe Hart.
We do sense some nervy moments left in that Manchester City defence yet. Carrick on the stretch. Hernandez was offside, takes no interest, but will now as it's pushed back to Hart. He'll reach halfway. Yeah, Toure, little touch inside for Silva. De Jong. Park will chase Zabaleta. Evra. Park, Anderson. Manchester United looking to build again. It's the large frame of company in the way. Looking across, it might be Fabio to come on for Manchester United. It's a final change from Alex Ferguson. Kolarov. De Jong. First chance now for Wright Phillips. Fresh legs, and it showed there. Skipped away from Evra. Yaya Toure in the middle, and that's for he.
Welcome to the game, Wright Phillips. Great feet, great start.
It's wide open out there now, not alone with the loss of one man in Scholes. Manchester United having to commit bodies forward. Manchester City will look for the clinching second goal on the break. Ferdinand. Anderson. He's made sure he's got involved since he's come on. And again, Manchester City setting up that defensive wall. Here goes Evra. Hernandez, Evra. Didn't fall kindly into his path, but it will come to O'Shea here. Silva back defending. Barry. With the strength against O'Shea. There goes Yaya Toure again. He wants it now. Barry didn't fancy giving it. Barry, just with that defensive mindset, wanted to hold it. Company is blocked off Park here. You could see Yaya Toure, he was desperate for a ball in behind. He fancied the legs on Ferdinand.
I can't believe he didn't give it to him at the time, but we're back here, the company knows what he's doing. It's a good touch from Park. He's looking over his shoulder, sees the blue shirt coming and just nicks it around the corner.
And Fabio for O'Shea. His first Manchester United goal this season. Fabio at Wigan, followed up with an FA Cup goal against Arsenal as Evra lets fly. Seeking just the third of his Manchester United career as well. Never looked likely though.
Well, I just think it's something now that they're going to have to rely on Evra. With Fabio coming on, the one thing, he's very strong and he's got energy. He wants to run, he wants to get in behind. He's non-stop. You've got to get the ball to him, see what the fresh legs can do.
Rio Ferdinand not happy with perceived time wasting. If Manchester United were one up, they might have a different view. That treble dream slipping away for the red supporters.
Well, the Man City fans, if Man City do go on to win this, will they worry if they win the final or not? That's the big thing, you know, because this just seems like a final for them. They just want to stop United doing the treble.
Hernandez. Carrick. Oh, Fabio's come in blindside, he's offside. Heart and mouth time for Lescott there.
But again, I think it's bad defending from Lescott. He just switches off, or as we said, Fabio's got the legs. You can just see the panic on Lescott there. He kind of looks over his shoulder, sees the red shirt and panic stations.
Patrick Vieira, talk about experience to try and see it out. 34 years of age. Been there, done it at the very highest level.
Fantastic player, and again, maybe he hasn't got the legs he had a few years ago, but you don't lose the quality, you don't lose the experience that he's got, and he will keep the ball.
Given his Arsenal past and a few head-to-heads with a few former Manchester United players, might just get 5 minutes, but what a sweet 5 minutes it might be for him. David Silva. It's an interesting change now. Were Manchester United to nick one late on, you've got Adam Johnson off, David Silva off. But these are managers' calls.
And good today as well, Silva, hasn't he? He's the player that makes them tick, and he links up the play. He gets the Yaya Tourés and the Balotellis into the game with his movement.
Such a clever player, Silva. Vieira will offer something completely different. Hasn't featured much in the Premier League this season. The cup competitions have been for him, though. He's even weighed in with 3 goals in this, the FA Cup, Patrick Vieira.
And that's Balotelli getting back there into the right back position to cover. He really showed today that he is an athlete as well.
So close now, so close to a famous victory, so close to a Wembley return. Up in the air from Company. Evra into the penalty area. Angle prohibitive.
I thought his shot early on wasn't too bad, but there he's got to put it across the box. Again, showed great energy, driving at Zabaleta here, and you can see the red shirts piling into the box. Just get it across that 6-yard box. You see Nani in there, Hernandez waiting to pounce. I don't think it's a great decision from Evra.
I wonder how many of the rival supporters will be heading back on the same trains, Curtis. At the moment, I wouldn't fancy it if I was a Manchester United supporter. Not dead yet, though, as Anderson goes on. Vieira's first involvement is the slide in. Referee right there and happy with it. Hernandez. No way beyond Zabaleta. Not quite over the line just yet. Carrick keeping it short with Park. They're very congested over there, so they'll try the right-hand side now. Ferdinand. Carrick again. 90 seconds of normal time to go. Evra. Read by Zabaleta. Slip forward for Park. And it's Wright Phillips back there. Good work from Wright Phillips. Realised Zabaleta was out of position. Balotelli. Looking to get his cross in. Vidic got something on it.
Yes, his manager will be going absolutely crazy there. He's in the corner. There's a couple of minutes left in the game. Just keep it there. Don't be trying to score another goal.
Oh, great work from De Jong again. Just those little bits and pieces. Any ball that where a touch might be too heavy from a Manchester United player, he's on it. Well, you called it, Curtis.
Oh, he's pointing at that corner. I think Balotelli knows, and then anytime he gets in, he's running there.
Horrible position to be in, sitting there watching, nothing you can do. Hernandez looks for the big switch to Nani. He's on the inside, great block. This time Gareth Barry. Balotelli. Wright Phillips tight to that touchline. It's done well. Balotelli again. Yaya Touré. Simple football from Manchester City. Great ball from Vieira. Is this the clincher? Gareth Barry looks for the setup on the inside. He's got there. Can he get back on his feet? Toure just stumbled. That was the winning of it. 5 minutes. Hernandez. Anderson. Fabio looks for the back post in Hernandez. Manchester City will take as much time as allowed with this.
No wonder he's strolling back. But look at his legs here, the strength of him. Yaya Toure knows what he wants to do. I think it's overhit the pass a little bit. He should be just feeding her into his run there. But again, shows his strength, his determination that he showed again. Not a great ball to control. Good defending again from Vidic, but lucky not to get that bit of luck.
I managed to see off Vidic for the only goal so far, but I think Vidic's strength there just did enough against Toure. A hair's breadth for Manchester City. Lovely ball from Anderson to Park. He's got 2 to beat here. Looks for a return to Anderson. Clever from Lescott. Mightn't been much contact, if any, there. And he knew Anderson was arriving at a rate of knots.
He's telling him now to calm down, let the goalkeeper kick it, get the whole team up the park, take your time.
A season where they started saying the priority is Champions League qualification. They might yet achieve that, though. Look at Chelsea winning, you look at Tottenham, they're still in there as well. The further you go in these competitions, the more interested you get.
But isn't football great, Des? Isn't it? The FA Cup, you know, it's a fairy tale, isn't it? You look at every stat coming into the game, the week that both clubs have had, and you're saying there's no way Man City are going to go and win this game, and they're in touching distance of it.
Company. Zabaleta, that's the experience. He's going to put it in the corner. And Wright Phillips has got there. Toure's in the middle again. Couldn't pick him out. Manchester United have given it away, though. Gareth Barry to head for the corner. Fabio's challenge, Manchester City throw in. But again, it was Yaya Toure into the penalty area. A better ball. A goal and the game decided. From distance, Balotelli, but the manager won't be too displeased with that. He's launched it into the stand.
It looks like he's ready to go, doesn't he? Looks like he's going to blow his top. He needs a bit of urgency from United.
So much treble talk over the last few weeks as they progressed in the Champions League and FA Cup. As they put together that 7-game winning run, as they extended their advantage in the Premier League. Is that dream about to die? Well judged by Company. Vidic now centre forward.
There's a lot of immense displays today, though, Des, hasn't there? And I think the second half was really showing what the manager was all about. He's got them to step up 20 yards. He's closed Man United down from the start, and they get the goal from it.
Carrick runs into trouble, but it breaks for Nani. Fabio on this near side. 3 in the penalty area. At the back post is Hernandez. Looks for the assist. Vital header from Company. Wright Phillips looks for the legs of Balotelli. Well tracked by Anderson. What a tense finish. Is there a dramatic finish yet from Manchester United? Can they force extra time with 10 men?
That's the coolest bit of defending all day. You expect him to head it out for the corner, but he does a great little header into Hart's hands.
Well, with respect to Gillingham and the Division 2 playoff as it was May of '99, a return to Wembley on a much, much bigger occasion. Final 30 seconds for Manchester City. Route 1 now, and it's got to be Wright Phillips, the backup right back. Now or never. Anderson. Can they fashion across Evra? He can. Park looking for the flick. Company's there again. They're desperate for the final whistle. It's a foul by Fabio, and that could well be it now. So long they have suffered in the shadows of Manchester United. They have watched them claim the European Cup, league after league. But for now, for one night, the noisy neighbours about to raise the decibel levels to a level we haven't heard in many a long year. Roberto Mancini has done it. Manchester United's wonderful record in FA Cup semi-finals comes to an end thanks to the goal from Yaya Toure.
Well, I think he's deserved it, hasn't he? When it goes to the big games, it's all about that bit of quality, and Yaya Toure gets a chance and takes it. And Mancini will think, I'm in a job for next season now. Can I go on and win the FA Cup?
Well, that's it. It is just a semi-final. They'll be back here as it's an ugly end to the game. Balotelli clashing with Ferdinand here. Well, we don't need this. Letting Dzeko in to drag Balotelli away. Well, what went on? Maybe something was said. And Ferdinand is furious. Very ugly end to the game for Manchester City. They can take the acclaim. They'll be back here next month. It will be Bolton or Stoke. And Manchester United have to be careful here. There can still be sanctions after a final whistle. Ferdinand, thankfully, is going to walk off. No treble for Manchester United this season, but under the watchful gaze of the big money men, Manchester City have done it. Toure's goal, a famous win, and it will be their final next month. Manchester City 1, Manchester United 0.
I don't think in the current climate anybody can be sure that the FA won't be looking at those scenes at the end. It shouldn't take the gloss off Manchester City's overall performance, though.